Welcome, dear friends. Here we are, 21 days to spiritual awakening. Yes, we are in this March. Today is the 11th, or night 11th, right? And we're studying another chapter from the book Voltei, through the Spirit author, Brother Jacob, and the medium, Chico Xavier. It is really a joy for us to be together and to be united in the ideal of learning more about ourselves and spirituality. For those listening to us through the app, we're just in, and we are here with you at Kardec Radio Facebook Live, as well as the app. If you're listening or watching this on demand, remember, you belong to this community. You're always invited to be with us. You're always invited to join us in this community, because when we're together, we're really stronger. This is not a political statement, by the way. It's the law of life. It's the law of God, law of society. We learn faster together. We learn more together. The much that I know is very little, but when I sum up with what you know and others know, we are much better. We create this current of mental constructiveness, as André Louis says, and when we attune with this current of mental current of construction, we are tuning with all the minds everywhere who are thinking alike. And there are only two choices: either the constructive mental currents or destructive mental currents. This is a concept that André Luiz brought to us in the book, in the beautiful book, by the way, Mecanismos da Mediunidade, which is not yet in English, Mechanisms of Mediumship, yet to be translated and yet to be brought to all of us, okay? So here we have the opportunity of being with you and disclosing these details. Every day I have choices to be constructive or destructive. And when we say destructive, well, there are types of destruction that is good, like recycling. But we're talking about being negative, focusing on the things that are passing. Matter is not a problem. Of course not. We have this book. It's in matter. It's imprinted in matter. Thank God it is. All these books, talking about books, like this book, Pills of Trust. It's printed, tangible. You read, beautiful, look. It's so beautiful. This book is so beautiful. And thank God. So matter is a companion. But when we focus only on matter and forget the essence, which is inside, that's when the problems begin. By the way, this book, Pills of Trust, is a book that was psychographed by Dr. Andrei Moreira, and the spirit author is Dr. Dias da Cruz, a very elevated spirit. And you can acquire this book and help the Fraternity Without Borders. The program of the Fraternity Without Borders has been helping children and families, especially orphans, in several locations on the earth. Madagascar now, Mozambique, and then we also have it in Brazil. So here we have it. If you want to buy it, there are many options. One of them is through the website of the Spiritist Society of Virginia, www.ssvirginia.org, or you can talk to Lea Severo, okay? Lea Severo is here with us, and she can tell you if there are other means through which you can buy this book. Okay, friends? That's the blessing of matter. Ooh, thank you, Leah, for the reminder. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Right? So right now, let me let me share with you. Sunshine is asking, does the book Mechanisms of Mediumship exist in German language? I don't know. If you have contact with Fran from the Sex and Destiny studies at Cardiac Radio, Francisca Kranz, she should know it. But if you send me an email through Cardiac Radio, Sunshine, I will certainly forward it to her. She should know the answer of the question, okay? But hopefully it's gonna come in English. You see, we are always dreaming. Dream, dream, dream. Yeah, right? Like the song I was listening today. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Right? And that's us. We're like, oh, the rainbow of books. Of Spiritist books. And the shower of Spiritist books. The treasure of having them. People don't know that when you discarnate, you may have little access to books, if ever. Because in the lower zones, there are no books, by the way. And at least not these illuminated books. And in the spirit colonies, reading books is really luxury. Because majority of people there cannot even think about sitting down, relaxing, because they are either they are recovering, preparing for a reincarnation. Unless they take courses, they may have access to the libraries. So, friends, think about this. Can we keep dreaming? Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Yes, a rainbow of books. Carol Correa is here with us, and Mark Smith. Thank you, friends. And we have here a beautiful community who is ready and ready. Andrea Torres, how are you? Adilson, how are you? Beautiful Sunshine, how are you? Beautiful Cesa, how are you? It's good to have you here too. Solange, how are you? Teresa Catapano, how are you? My friend Felipe, thank you for joining us. Our beautiful psychologist, Karina, how are you, Karina? Beautiful Ana Oliveira, how are you, Ana? It's good to have you here. My beautiful Lea Severo, companion of this journey as well. Thank you, Lea, for being with us always. Valéria Benfica, I'm smiling in my heart. Big kiss to you, my friend. Michele Silva, welcome. Roni Lamar, your beautiful daughter growing. I just remember when we met and then you got pregnant. Congratulations. Congratulations for all the achievements, Roni. Congratulations for being a beautiful mom. Nina, talking about moms, huh? The beautiful daughter who is already, bringing more joy to daughters, huh, Nina? What a gift, right? Andrea, let's sing together. Jailton, hello, my friend. Marilda, how are you, my friend? It's good to have you here. Yes, Karina, we cannot. We eat books now. Bookworms, as we are. We're like, oh my gosh, what if I am in the lower zones and I can't read my books? I better memorize them. Do like the Guatemalan friends. Our dear Edwin Bravo once told me, who is the Secretary General of the International Spiritist Council, he said that when he goes to some Guatemalan villages, they don't have books at all. So you know what they do? They want to study Spiritism. They memorize the book. They know the Gospel according to Spiritism by heart. And they can tell you the book like this. Because they don't have books. Maybe we should send them books too. But That's another story for another day. Right now, until July 4th, we are committed to our beautiful group in South Africa. If you want to help, remember, July 4th is the deadline. Send Spiritist books in English to the group in South Africa because it's hard for them to get books there. Okay? It's too expensive. So let us join forces. Ubiratã, Sevilha. Thank you for joining us. Rudy, super present. And you are our present. Amanda Andrade, it's good to have you here. Justina, thank you for joining us, talking about beautiful moms. Marilda Veiga, thank you for being with us. Teresa Castro, she is reminding us, I love your summaries, like bringing back what we asked last night. She did the log today about what we do every hour, and I'm telling ours to do frequently. I need to listen. Exactly. We need to do it. Thank you for the reminder. It's a log about what we do. The more useful that we are, the better it is. Teresa. Yes, so the Pills of Trust is in English, and you can buy at the website of the Spiritist Society of Virginia, ssvirginia.org, okay? And all the proceeds will go to Fraternity Without Borders. They sent the book, Dr. Andre Moreira sent it to us, and we are distributing to whomever to help the Fraternity Without Borders, thanks to Leia Severo's reminder. Right, motherhood is a blessing, Nila. Lisa Teles, welcome. One more night with Kardec's friends. I love that. It's the 11-hour Spiritist friendship, right? Ready? Where were we? We were Brother Jacob discarnated as a Spiritist, practicing Spiritist, benefactor. He was surprised that he had some obstacles. He thought it would have been much easier. Of course, his discarnation was not like super dramatic, but he thought it was going to be easier. And he comes back less than a year after his discarnation to tell us exactly how he experienced it. So it's very important for you and I to read this, because time and again the good spirits come back to tell us and say, look, focus. No. I remember when I was a teenager and being a Spiritist, I said, I'm not going to waste time with XYZ. Of course I went to some parties, but there are things I'm like, I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to focus because this reincarnation is here. And I remember some adults who were even Spiritists. They said, come on, Vanessa, enjoy life. You're so young. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Enjoy life. As far as I know, this is enjoying life, studying, right? Helping others. When we founded the Spirit Society of Baltimore, almost 20 years ago, we were 25 years old. It began in my house. I remember people asking, why are you doing this? Are you a witch? Brazilians who were not Spiritists were asking me this. And I said, I'm not a witch. We're just getting together to study the laws of life. And we were young, and people were like, come on, you're wasting time, like on your Sunday morning, traveling to Washington, D.C. That was 20 years ago. To teach Spiritism to youth. I don't regret a minute. I regret not doing even more. So that's why we're here at 11 p.m. Catching up with time. Catching up. But we need to change the paradigm in life. So first question before I begin here. First question for us, Mentor Joseph is asking. What is entertainment for you? What is entertainment for you? What is it? Is entertainment drinking alcohol? Is entertainment numbing the senses with illegal drugs? Is entertainment talking bad about people and forgetting about our daily duties? What is for you to relax and entertain? Be entertained or entertain yourself. That concept is very important. We need to change the paradigm. We need to find joy in serving. Joy in being disciplined. Joy in doing the good always. Joy in cleaning the home. Yeah, because André Luiz was a doctor on the earth, but when he discarnated, he started swiping the floor, right? Yeah, so now Karina is saying taking courses at Coursera. There you go, right? And Jailton is saying we're enjoying life right here this month. I agree with you, Jailton. I feel the same. It's so much fun to be here, to be with you. Everybody's so loving and kind. We're building the new era right here and now. And that's exactly some of the parts that he's going to talk to us today. Brother Jacob is going to tell us in this new chapter, New Spiritual Home, things that he recapped about relaxing, entertaining, etc. He begins by saying, thank you, Andrea. It's good to be with you. He begins, let us listen to Brother Jacob. We're connecting to his heart right now. We love you wherever you are, Brother Jacob. You're incarnated or still discarnated. Our gratitude goes to you because you're bringing us our calibration to live this life more fully. He begins, decidedly, the paradise of unalterable contemplation was not a creation for me. The joys of returning to ennobling spirituality and the comfort of the talk with Brother Andrade and Marta brought me, without a doubt, infinite joy. Yet, right there, stretched out in the repose of the bed, I missed service. I probed the readjustment of my strength, recognizing that the brain did not show the fatigue of the last days of the physical body, and the fatigue of the heart were extinct. Within me, I was blessed with blessed renewal. So of course, he's telling us here that he didn't live a life like majority of people on earth. Just, there are people who wake up thinking about parties, who wake up thinking about gatherings, who wake up thinking about socializing just for the sake of socializing, and thinking about the next trip, the next get-together. It's Monday and they're already planning what's going to happen Saturday, Sunday. Sunday is going by, they're already thinking about the next week and the week after. And Brother Jacob was not like this. For him, he already experienced before he discarnated the joy of having good conversations, being amongst loved ones. How about you and I? Let's check. It's like a checklist. Feeling joy amongst loved ones. Check or uncheck. And it's not trivial. There are people who are so distant from their heart. that they don't even enjoy being with loved ones. Loved ones are around and they're thinking about work, money, power, and they're not even cherishing the company. Brother Jacob is there in the spiritual realm. He realizes the importance of being with loved ones. He rejoices in that. And he already misses working for the good, what we call service. I wanted to ask for work with the benefit of my possibilities in useful action, but I was afraid. He's cute every now, the way he says it, so grounded. He's so humble to tell us the truth, how he felt. I was afraid. I did not know if my humble task in the world had been approved by the superior powers. And within, I was not unaware of my own mistakes. How can we ask for admission to high works if good intentions to serve effectively are not enough? I would expect to leave the room and see the painting outside. I would thus breathe the blessed climate of mental activity, observing in advance that my odds would be in the near future. In spite of the labor taxes that tortured my thinking, I decided to remain silent. I was now a man at a distance from the helm, asylum myself in another vessel and in another sea under the patronage of the generosity of others. This is so interesting because we live our lives so much in need of feeling in control and in charge that when we discarnate, we're going to experience quite the opposite. No control. We're not in charge of anything. And when we are in charge, we're so elevated that we don't feel proud of it. We don't feel like egotistically attached to it. So Brother Jacob is learning a lesson here, and he's sharing with us. He's learning to be humble and to surrender to the powers of the good. How about you? Is it easy for you to feel this way here on the earth? Or do you constantly struggle to feel like, no, I must have control in this situation, that situation, and when somebody else is in control, you feel like out of breath, desperate, afraid? How about us? We need to ask this question, because when discarnation happens, we're going to have to revisit that feeling. We don't have anything. We don't control anything. Control is just an illusion. Even the physical body, it is temporarily given to us. One day, we'll have zero control of it. That's when death happens. Discarnation is going to happen. Where are we? Scale 0 to 10. 0 being like, I don't have any problem with control. 10 being like, I'm very controlling. Recognizing it is going to give us an opportunity to work on it consciously. And you may be asking, how do I do it, Vanessa? Easy. No, it is easy. Jesus said if we want to do it with the key of goodwill, we can open any door. The key is goodwill. Goodwill is the supervisor, the manager of our mind, says Emmanuel in the book Thought and Life. And it is true. Goodwill, where there is a will, there is a way. Goodwill can open any door. I want to be less controlling. Okay. Next time you revisit your feelings and you feel like, oh, I feel like things are falling off my hand. I can't control the situation. I don't know what's happening at work, at home, with your feeling, with your health, with something else. You just say, breathe in and out. Breathing in, God is in control. Breathing out, I let God control it. Breathing in, God is in control. Breathe out, I consciously let God take charge. Right, Aline? It is detachment, because then we are not eluded, because it's an illusion. Control is an illusion. We think we have control. Vanessa, there was a time in my life I have everything figured out. Everything was in place. Right now my life is upside down. Great. It's a sign you are where you have never been. You have never been there. Deepak Chopra has a beautiful book about the 7 laws of success. And he talks about the law of uncertainty. And that's so true. When you are in a place, in a scenario, in a situation, in a circumstance, that everything is puzzling and new, instead of struggling and being despair, rejoice, because it's a sign you're moving forward. It's a sign you're learning something new. Uncertainty is a sign of the new, because you don't know. You've never been there. Wonderful! I'm gonna learn the new. Be a child. Rescue your inner child. Let the child play with the new toys of life. Look around. What do children do? They observe, but they don't resist. They don't resist. They quickly absorb, and they trust. Trust. Your guardian angel is leading you. And rejoice with the new. Okay? Julie is here with us. Dani Bravieira. Kisses to you, friends. Rafael, you are here. Thank you. Thank you, Rafael, for being with us and sharing. He was reading chapter 8 of the book Messengers. Okay, thank you, Rafael. Okay, now, right. Brother Andrade, who pointed out to me the most intimate appreciations, commented on the disillusionment of all creatures who come from the earth expecting a heaven of cheap contemplations, pointing out that many idle spirits in the false appreciation of divine justice beg undue rest in paradise when facing the last hour of the earthly experience, after having drunk all the poisons of the soul in the cup of the body. Now, this is interesting. Many people who are living on earth, they think, when I discarnate, please let me rest. Let me just be at peace. But then how did we live our lives? We led a life filled with what? Pleasures that were passing. I'm not going to name it. You know it. So here we have an opportunity to really, really ask what we're doing. If you want to know how we're going to die, says Kardec, we need to know how we're living this life. How are we living this life? Are we living focused on fulfilling the reincarnatory plan, our spiritual contract with God? What is your spiritual contract? Oh, Vernice, I don't know. I don't remember. But we can remember. How? By observing what life is asking us about. What is life asking us about? Is it asking us to be more patient? That's the contract. To be kinder? That's the contract. to be more loving and embracing towards XYZ people. That's the contract, right? It's the reincarnatory plan or a spiritual contract. However we name it, it doesn't matter. But it's important to focus on the plan. Of course, you're going to make mistakes. Me too. Big deal. The big deal is actually to turn it around and fix it. Look at Paul of Tarsus. Paul of Tarsus made a huge mistake. Like grave. Killing his grave mistake. But he didn't stop and whine about it like, oh my gosh, who am I? I'm gonna kill myself because of it. No. I'm gonna, in his case, man up and correct myself. It takes great courage. It takes spiritual maturity to really turn it around and not fall in the trap of guilt and say, you know what, it's between God and I'm gonna fix it. But he didn't go by saying, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry, like pitying himself, pity-partying him and saying, who am I? No. He was like, I was wrong, but I'm here to do it right. Now I get it. So this is very important for us, right, Patricia? Thank you, friends. Patricia Lima for being with us. Jussara is with us. Thank you. Thank you, Jussara. Andrea is mentioned about the 4 agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz that helps us understand others' feelings about us and be more understanding with them. Exactly. He talks about not taking things personal, which is very hard. But when we say we take offenses, we're taking offense. People may even attempt to offend us, but it's up to us to take it. It's like a ball. Shh. If I grab it, I grabbed it. If I don't, like, no thank you. No thank you. I don't need that. Okay? All right. So he says, what happens to the people who live a life like totally distracted? And then they think they're gonna die and they're gonna find this resting place. They find themselves in darkness, he's saying, and they get rebellious, in despair, and they are unable to do any self-improvement. And what they do is that they protest against the laws of God, and they are entrapped. They become prey to organizations of discarnate malefactors. Oh my gosh, Vanessa, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, remember, majority of people who are living on the earth is discarnated. And you think they're all angels? No, majority of them are still, at least 2/3 of those 2/3 are not good at all. And some are pretty barbarian. And if we become, when you wake up and you feel like, oh, this world, oh, this, and you are mad, and who are you attracting? You're ringing the bell. And those spirits who are in that frequency, they're gonna come visit us. There's a cute little story in the book by My Little Ponies. It's for children. I've been learning with Virginia, thank God, but they're already telling this to children. Emotional management. Because the My Little Pony is all about cherishing friendship, which is great. Teaching our kids that the world is friendly. That the world, they're going to conquer friends. They're going to make new friends. Okay? So, it's interesting because there is a story in which 3 of the ponies, they are competing and they are cursing each other. And the minute they are doing this, there is like what they call the spirit Wendigo comes and freezes them up. And only the power of love can melt this ice. And then they learn the lesson that being mad at each other, that being angry at each other only brings negative presences. This is for kids. And it's not even a spiritist book, but it's doing its job. For us, it's the same, incarnated or discarnated. So we better practice it here. How do we behave when we are frustrated? Everything changes for us. Are you mad? Upset? And what do? If we're desperate, then we're going to attract these entities. How about it, huh? That's why we were singing at the very beginning. That's the frequency. We want to keep seeking the good. And remember, Mentor Joseph was saying, Vanessa, the good is not imagination. Seeking the good doesn't mean inventing or reinventing the wheel. God invented the good. You just need to dig. It's like a gold miner. And we just need to observe, because the good is there. His good is here. The good is in you. Seeking the good means looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, I am divine. Oh, but Vanessa, I cannot look at myself because I do so many mistakes. Learn to forgive yourself unconditionally, because you're divine. Look at yourself with compassion and say, I am a child of God. I am a child of God. I reincarnated to learn to do good. And those who discarnate, they can sing, I am a child of God. I am a child of God. I will reincarnate to learn to do good. And when we're there, we want to come here. Now we're here, we're forgetting. Mamma mia. We can't forget it, my friends. These books are reminding us. It's a buzz saying, remember the plan. Remember the plan. Exactly, Nina. We should start with ourselves first. So, the same occurs in the carnal sphere to rebellious and ungrateful people who pay a high price for the spiritual readjustment of themselves in the dark road of disharmony and disillusionment. Brother Andrade pondered that the imperatives of service, he pondered with me the imperatives of service. It's important to serve. So that's one of the major lessons in this chapter. Serving. How important it is to serve. And what is to serve? To serve, I'm going to recall. If you haven't had a chance, we did the study on the book Thought and Life. There is a chapter here titled Cooperation, which is chapter 3. And that's when we learn to co-pilot with God. Because you're a co-creator. I am a co-creator. That is what it means to serve. When you wake up feeling you are co-piloting with God. You're flying places with God. Cooperating with God. Cooperating with God. That is vital for you and I to keep that realization. In the next 24 hours, that's the invitation we're going to make to all of us. Let us co-pilot with God. God created you and I and everybody we're going to meet and everything that is in nature. Next time we see somebody, we are working with somebody, let's say, God, what are you doing now? How do you want me to help you with this person, this brother and sister of mine? Let us co-pilot together with God, shall we? Yes? Shall we co-pilot with God? Is it possible to co-pilot with God? Yes? Next 24 hours, we're inviting you to co-pilot with God. Okay? That's the plan. Cooperation. So Brother Andrade is saying that it's gonna happen, you know, and he notified me that my collaboration would be examined at the earliest opportunity. However, he would advise me to meditate and be very calm, so as not to re-enter the constructions of spirituality which causes losses to the human struggle. Hello, Rosalind Rosa. Welcome. So because I asked him about the judgment of my actions, he replied that death does not lead us to vulgar tribunals, but to our own conscience. Yeah, some people tell me, I'm not going to do this because I know when I discarnate, God's going to ask me about this. I say, no, not God, your own conscience. It's God within you. It's going to ask you. Precisely. Oh, but I did my best. If you discarnate today, revisit that question. Oh, I could do more, so do more. Do more. Because when we discarnate, we're going to be very clear about what we could have done. I have a friend that one day, she's a spiritist too. She was for 3 months sharing her bedroom, her apartment, with other friends. And there were not like many bedrooms, but she shared the best she could, she thought. But when the time passed, they left, they became friends. She said to me, you know, I regret not having been more friendly, kinder, and thinking more of them, less of me. And she said, I was so selfish because I was constantly thinking about my own good and afraid that they would, you know, take advantage of me, she said, that I didn't do my best. You see, in little situations of everyday life, we revisit from another angle at another time and we see what fear causes, how much we avoid and postpone the good works because we are afraid. So thinking about eternal life, we reframe fear and start loving more and be more faithful to God. Well, he said he was asking himself if he had a good track record of things that would make open pathways for him to serve. I was intrigued. He said, because Brother Andrade said to Brother Jacob, explained that the totally straight discarnates did not gain access to the place that I was, and that despite being given to my own judgment, a more evolved friend would help me restore my feeling and my reasoning. And then he was like, but aren't you gonna be helping me? And he smiled and said, what do you mean, Jacob? I too am struggling with myself. I cannot. Before this revelation of humility, I silence myself. Even the spirit instructor, he's being humble and saying, the next step with you, somebody else is going to help you because I'm not able to do it now. Amazing, huh? Amazing. So then Martha is with him. He starts looking around the house that is hosting him and Martha. And he observes the objects, the domestic organization, and he says, in a way, it's similar to the ones at home, on the earth, and it's somewhat different. He sees pictures of the family, He sees objects, furniture, and then the daughter showed him everything, pictures, decorations, objects, ornaments, and he was enchanted. She paused before a grand piano, and she started playing a little bit for him, and perhaps because she saw my tearful eyes, recapitulating the emotions of terrestrial paternity, abandoned the instrument and led me to the reading. So now he comes to books. Remember at the beginning we were talking about how precious books are. He was amazed about the publications. He said that the books, the graphic art is so perfect that cannot even be evaluated on the earth how they are. The types of the material so luminous, the engravings had a natural color that seemed to be alive and animated. And then he looked, and I think one of my friends here, especially, I know, she's going to be loving. I think Andrea's gonna love it. It's about a book on Beethoven, his memories, emphasizing the struggles with which he had been surprised in the world to spread among the incarnates the musical message of the higher spheres. Reading the opening pages, I learned sublime concepts of divine mediumship among human creatures. Isn't that fascinating? We're learning about Beethoven and how he wrote his memoirs and talking about his own life. We hope and we know many of these spirits are reincarnating. They are coming to restore the harmony in our arts. Arts is fascinating, but we need to understand what it is about. And Spiritism helps us greatly and immensely in that regard. I asked the daughter about the whereabouts of the great composer, to which Martha responded by saying that she knew that he was in a superior sphere, the climate which had not yet been reached. Yes, Beethoven, God bless you, and thank you for the legacy. It's still changing us, because vibrations, music is vibration, and we are vibration. We don't need words, we need vibrations. So before you talk to somebody, how would you like to vibrate to this person? You want this person to feel your vibrations before they listen to your words, right? Brother Andrade referred to the wonderful festivals of sublimated circles, asserting that ennobled artists continue to create beauty and good for the development of the planetary life. And after a lovely conversation, we left in a pleasant moment of vacation. That's why I was telling you at the beginning of our conversation about what entertainment is for you. Because we really need to change the paradigm. If you go to see a concert, it must be of high vibrations. It's not only the lyrics, it's about the music in itself. It's about what we do in our resting time. How useful we can make those entertaining times to elevate ourselves and vibrate higher. So at the end of the day, when you have your vacation, when you have a break during the day, it's time to recompose yourself and elevate your vibration so you harmonize and feel replenished. That's why many people go to vacations, they come back more tired, because what they were doing there was not really elevated. Because when it's elevated, ask Angelita. She was just in Madagascar, and then she will be able to tell us whether or not she was more tired or replenished when she came back, because she used her vacation to reach out to people. I was talking to my friend Carol Correa today, and I said, Carol, you know, sometimes I think we see so many people suffering, and I think, how can I ever aim at sitting at a beach in Hawaii for days and disregarding the fact that in those many days many people are suffering? Oh, Vanessa, that's too radical. Let's inverse the position. Somebody's in Hawaii and then you are in Madagascar without food. And then what would you like to ask the people who are chilling at the beach? Please share with me. Share your money. Go to fraternitywithoutborders.org. Or can I propose something else too? Go to the website of Kardec Radio, make a donation, because it's all volunteer work. We need to pay the bills. Or go to the website of the United States Spirits Federation, buy books, give a donation, because they're doing phenomenal projects, translating books, publishing them as well. Okay? And there are many ways. Sharing. You buy something for you, immediately I remember Mentor Joseph teaching this to me regarding Virginia. Teach her that when she buys something for her, she needs to think about somebody else and what somebody else needs. One for her, one for somebody else. One for her, one for somebody else. One for her, one for somebody else. And if needed, for herself, of course. And I've been doing this exercise with myself. It's not easy. It's not easy. So there they are in a beautiful park. They talk about nature, the peace of nature, the importance of valuing nature, and how they can restore themselves in nature. The beautiful avenues, the beautiful plants, and birds, luminous birds, astonished him. They flew beside him, singing, and the harmony of the environment was like a divine church. I asked Martha suddenly, with the roughness that it was in myself, if I could see the administrative authorities, but my daughter, loving and convincing, asked me to wait longer. I noticed the halo of light that enveloped her and the brilliant features surrounding Brother Andrade, and then I corrected myself in self-examination. My spiritual body lay as dark as the dense vehicle of flesh. I understood the advice and almost fell in dismay. I did not yet carry with me enough luggage of life to seek confidently the proximity of the highest spirits. Right, Jussara, love Beethoven. There's so much in arts. They can make us vibrate. It's all about vibration. Higher. Talking about vibration and going hand in hand with this new concept of entertaining wisely. And going hand in hand with this operating of elevating our vibrations, seeking the good that already exists, because God already created it. The good spirits already cherish it. We just need to seek it, feel it, visualize it, mold it. Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dreams that you dreamed of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dreamed of, dreams really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where trouble melts like lemon drops. high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, and that star is Jesus. I wish upon a star. Jesus, you are our star, our guiding star. My friends, let us rejoice and cherish these 24 hours, revisiting our breaks, our entertaining hours, and making them as true opportunities to vibrate higher and really reconnect with our true selves. For now, we wish you lots of blessings. Thank you.